So, I think we've all heard those stories. Man, I'm just gonna throw this in here with all this purple power, let it soak overnight, and we will be good for cleaning tomorrow. Man, we let that soak overnight, it's gonna be gravy cleaning. It's gonna come right off. Guys, I think it cleaned a little too well. So we're gonna see how bad it'll actually destroy aluminum parts. And it's gonna damage them just a little bit. There's no denying that. Purple Power, Zep Purple Cleaner and all that, that's all caustic. That means it has sodium hydroxide, which dissolves aluminum. But how bad does it? Is it safe to use on engine parts? Can I use it on pistons? Can I use it on my aluminum cylinder heads? Can I use it on an aluminum block? Just to give that little advantage for cleaning. We're going to do this in a controlled manner. We're going to actually have 2 test samples. We're going to do it in a hot solvent and a cold solvent. And conveniently enough, my Harbor Freight ultrasonic cleaner decided to no longer work, at least for the cleaning part. But the heat still works, so we're going to use that in one of ours to test a hot solution. And we're just going to leave a room temperature solution and see how bad it actually damages the aluminum. Now, because I don't fully know what these factory pistons are made of, the cylinder heads, or the aluminum block, we're going to use a known piece, which is 6061 T6 aluminum, which some pistons are actually made from this, to test and see how much damage purple cleaners will do. So as we sit here and wait for our hot solution here to warm up, we need to do one thing first, and that will be, let's measure these aluminum bars and see. You can see 1's going to be our hot solution, 2's going to be our cold solution. Let's get some measurements down to 1/10 of a thousandth. Make sure we can see any little changes. Alright, so we got bar 1 and 2 measured. I took 5 measurements, all from around the very top here. Didn't measure anything else. Just all around here, so I have a good reference point of where all these measurements came from. Now, to be as scientific as possible here, let's see the temps of our solution, which the cold is at 51 degrees. So we will write that down for our starting point. And see where our hot solution is, because this is all the hotter it's going to get. So it looks like about, we'll say 120. So, let's let the experiment begin. Bar 1 into the hot solution, and bar 2 in the cold. And I will come back after half an hour to measure these, and we will go from there. So it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet, and look at the way this is like all fizzled up, and you can even see the outline of the bar. I wasn't expecting anything like that, and I know in the previous one you already seen this one like immediately started doing that in the hot solution, but man, this is like crazy. Definitely wasn't expecting results like this right off the bat. It's going to be interesting to see after half an hour where these 2 bars are, and maybe there's some truth to this whole overnight dissolving thing. So it has been a half hour, and I brought these bins over. I labeled them, as you can see, just because I'm feeling those Sharpie marks are still no longer there. Before we take these out, I want to measure the temps in here and see if the temp has changed, which it seems like it has in this one. We now have 59 degrees, so we will write that down. And let's see if the temp in this one has changed. Which, oh yeah! I don't know if you can see that, but we're at 165 on that. So once again, we will write that down. And let's pull these out and take a look. And notice, I'm going to use tongs, because the way that fizzed, whoo, I don't think that's going to be good to grab with bare hands. Which, ooh, wow. Look at the difference in that already. I want to be curious to measure that. This one here, let's see if it's gone or not. So, let's take a look at this here. I can see there's some black spots on it, and that's about it. Probably should wipe that off first. Which, yep, the Sharpie marks are definitely gone. Maybe that's what all that black stuff is that was hanging out in there, is the Sharpie marks. So, I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but definitely has like a white powderish look on it, which, to be expected. Seen that before with aluminum. Just, never seen it fizz like it did. And let's take a look at our hot one here. Ooh. Ooh. Something tells me that was not the Sharpie. So, this one's definitely doing something weird. Like, I don't know what all those black spots, well, just the blackness on it. I really don't know what that is. So, I think I'm going to wipe these down, get them cleaned up a little bit, and go measure again, and then we will see. Alright, I know I said I was going to measure this, but I want to show something. Because I was wire brushing off all that black stuff. And look what it did to the aluminum sitting against the plastic strainer in there. Like, that is crazy. It actually, like, there is a visible, and you can feel this, like, indentation from it sitting against the basket. Like, I thought that was just black smudge, whatever you want to call it, sitting against it. It actually left this huge impression. So, I'm going to measure this the best I can, but, yeah, I'm saying this hot solution ate this stuff like no tomorrow. So, alright, I'm back after measuring these, and as you can see so far, our hot solution ate a lot of that on average away. Like, some spots we are 0.04 of an inch difference, and yeah, it's just crazy. And bar 2 on our cold solution really only lost about 1 thou on average from what I'm seeing. But that's still just absolutely mind-blowing that in half an hour it did this much damage already. So, right now the takeaway is I am never touching an aluminum engine part with any type of purple cleaner again. Just because, woo, that's crazy. But let's stick them back in. I'm going to see what happens with an hour total in the solution. Then we're going to go 6 hours, 12. So, let's get to it. And for the sake of this, just reiterate where it's all raised in here. I'm going to put that side back down. But it makes it extremely hard to measure. So, this might actually be a lot worse than thought. It's still crazy how you can feel all that. And that was only half an hour into a hot solution. But, back in it goes. And we shall see. But, real quick, because I just noticed this dumping in. Ooh. Okay. You know what? We'll point that one back out later when it's done. We can see that just actually started doing its thing again. Even more of a reaction. And, yeah. So, 1 hour, here we come. Alright, here we are. It has been 1 hour total for these bars to have been in the solution. And, let me say, it's starting to smell a little funky. I actually got an exhaust fan over by here to kind of get some of these smells out. because, ooh, boy, this isn't making me feel good. But let's get the bars out. Well, hold up, I'm forgetting before we get the bars out. Let's take a temp measurement of the solutions here, which our cold solution is 62 degrees. So we will write that down. And our hot solution is 152 right now. It actually tamed down a little bit. Maybe that means that one's kind of fizzled out. So we will write that down. And let's pull the bars out, see if we got any extra new carnage. See, this one really hasn't developed too much more. It still has that same black stuff on it. And our hot solution, which, ooh boy, that is lovely smelling. Lovely. That one there doesn't appear too much different than the first time. So this is the one I'm most curious about, because that's the one that seems to really have had the most reaction to it. So it's gotten all this black crap on it again, so still must be doing something. I'm sure it has. And we come back, and yeah, you can see the pattern shifted a little bit from not going in the same, and it's still built up pretty good. So I guess I will once again try to wire brush this off the best I can and see how much more we've lost. Still visibly it looks about the same thickness, but I will be back after I wire brush this and some measurements. So here's that one thing I want to show you quick, which you can see I'm left with like this blue solution doing this. And if I do that and dab a little bit of that stuff back in, you can see like it turns clear and then does that. So yeah, that's a bit concerning. I have no idea what this stuff is. If you guys know, let me know. I'm curious at what the heck that is. Like, that is weird. So, due to kind of safety concerns because of these fumes and all that, I'm going to call this very short experiment done with for the moment, because I got a lot of weird smells going on over there, and I'm not really sure what's going on, and I prefer not to blow my garage up. I do not want to be relegated to working outside again. But let's go over some of those results there, which you can see in just an hour of being in that hot solution. Our Purple Power ate 10,000ths of an inch off that aluminum bar. The cold solution didn't do as much damage, but you can see 3-4 thousandths over an hour just ate, and this stuff seems to keep going. And yeah, absolutely mind-blowing. Like, I want to test this further and really see what it takes to dissolve aluminum with this, or what else it would do. But I gotta figure out how to do this more safely and in a way that I'm not kind of worried about blowing my garage up. So until then, I'll catch ya